Welcome to another edition of Pittsburgh Sportsline Live. We got a great crowd here. It's -1 degrees in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. We're at Sips Sports Bar, 3024 West Liberty Avenue, 15216. I want to thank everybody individually for coming out here during this -1 degrees. It's appreciated by us. We're going to put on another great show for you. We got Lazarus, Smoking Jim Frazier, back from the dead. I didn't know he would get out of an awards dinner by going to the hospital. All he had to do is come out to Bethel Park. We had an awards dinner where Devin Shea won an award, 100 shows. Aaron Ward won an award for the 12th year. I was corrected on Facebook. I said it was 15 years. She's won an award. And then Rookie of the Year, John the Tiger Kiger got an award. So there were a lot of awards out there. Our show set some new records. And whatever I did, I appreciate it. Thanks for all the support that I've had. Check out Pittsburgh Sportsline on Facebook. We're up to 2,111 likes on the page. That's in less than 1 year, so you guys must be doing something right and you're enjoying what we do, and we'll keep posting up all this stuff. And Smoking Jim will keep his model agency open wherever it is, 24/7. He also has some fans that I'm aware of now. There's the unions, I'm familiar with unions. Well, the nursing union now has made him an honorary member of the union. Now, he does have to pay dues, but we're working on that detail right now. So stay tuned with his next adventure.
All right? I thought that's what he was doing in the hospital.
Well, I can't tell you what he was doing in the hospital because I don't know what he was doing in the hospital. But he did see 3 hospitals, and since I announced fights, it was not the first round, it was not round number 2, but it was round number 3, and he did get out. So I'm thankful that my brother from another mother's here, and I know we're a little off subject, but you can watch us on Verizon 32 in the greater Pittsburgh area every Tuesday through Saturday night, 7 o'clock to 8 o'clock. Even Gabby, who's here, or Gabrielle Baker, she can tune in. She come out on -1 degrees, so we have a lot of fans. You can see us on YouTube, like I said, and Comcast 7 only in Bethel Park, and of course Pittsburgh Sportsline on Facebook. We post everything up there, and stay tuned for any new announcements. And you can even see us in our magazine. We're trying to come out with a new one here in January. We're getting close, so stay tuned to the magazine. And we always start our show with what's on our mind, and we're going to do that right after I introduce myself. Al Levine, the Talking Machine, Smoking Jim Frazier, Chip the Prophet Hayner, and one of our regular co-hosts. I think he's knee-deep in a broken pipe or something, and water's leaking out everywhere. That's Zach Brenner of Brenner Contracting. He's underwater, so don't look him up in the yellow pages. Just look in our magazine. You'll see him. Chip the Prophet Hayner, what's on your mind?
Thank you, Alan. What's on my mind this week? We just finished wild card weekend for the first round of the NFL playoffs. And some things occurred to me while I was watching the football games this weekend. And one of the things that occurred to me is that, the same things that went on for 15 years in Philadelphia are going to go on in Kansas City for the years to come. They're going to have a great regular season, and they're going to be a bitter disappointment in the playoffs. Because Andy Reid, as good of a coach as he is, he still hasn't taught anybody how to tackle. Watching the other games, the other games between the Packers and the 49ers, it was a great game, but once again, nobody tackles at the end of the game, and the Packers give up a lead in their home field. And, the Eagles couldn't get it done at home against the Saints, and once again, they weren't tackling anybody and let the Saints take the ball down to win the game. But, just to end my opening rant on a positive note, thinking about, what the Cincinnati Bungles once again did. They showed us that they are truly the Cincinnati Bungles. And, I thought Tony Romo played for the Dallas Cowboys, but lo and behold, he showed his face at Riverfront, and he's wearing black and orange. And Andy Dalton is the reincarnation of Tony Romo, so he's not a franchise quarterback, and I think we can enjoy quite another decade of Cincinnati's futility. That's what's on my mind.
Thanks, Chip. Sometimes I might argue with you, but in the new year, I don't have any point to argue with you about any of your statements there. I got to co-sign those. Now we'll go to Smoking Jim Frazier. I hope you're strong enough to give us one of your performances here on what's on your mind.
Hey, thanks, Al Levine, the talking machine. And if you want the green,
I found one.
You got to see Levine. And I like to start off each and every show by giving a shout out to my main man, Dan the Man. If you like coffee, Dan makes the best coffee on the planet. Order a cup and you won't be disappointed. Please take care of your bartenders and waitresses. Brandy, wave to all your fans. Hey, Tina. And if you haven't done so already, do yourself a favor. Grab a menu. I tell you what, 2 weeks ago, I ordered the best meatball hoagie I ever had in my life. And it's because of the chef. The chef Pete's in the back. And I tell you what, Al, do you know a lot of people now are signing up to go to Mars? I would never,
I heard that.
My brother from another mother, I would never go to Mars because men are from Mars and women are from Venus. Speaking of women, my best friend is here. Please give it up for Gabrielle Venus Baker.
Hold it. What happened to TD? That was last year.
A big shout out to international master photographer Bill Boyce is in the house with his beautiful models. I only got one thing to say about Cincinnati. Cincinnati must get the best affirmative action in the whole country. Listen, the eighth wonder of the world is how Marvin Lewis is still a football coach. In 11 years, he got 0 playoff wins. In 11 years, his record is only 90-1. I call Marvin Lewis an Oreo cookie because he's black on the outside and white on the inside. I believe Marvin Lewis got pictures on somebody. Does Marvin Lewis got a photo of Cincinnati Bengals owner Mike Brown with former Pittsburgh Pirate owner and Cordell Stewart in Shinley Park? Hey, listen, when you're the Cincinnati Bengals, you deserve a stale cookie as your head coach.
You did it better than me, Jim. You always do.
For any of you that don't know Smoking Jim, that was one of his all-star performances to start out the new year. But I must put the disclaimer that it's all his opinions. They only reflect his opinions and thoughts. And if you want to argue with them, good luck to you, because I still can't hear a word he's saying. So I know he offended a few people out there. And that's why we like him here. Now, what's on my mind is I watched all of these sports teams over the weekend, Smoking Jim, and I needed your guidance, because every team I picked lost. I mean, even the Bengals, they were favored by a touchdown. I figured there's no way Andy Dalton can revert back to the mean, where, I mean, he throws 3 interceptions or can't complete a pass when they need it. So that shocks me, and it gives me hope, because you guys know I bleed black and gold. The only negative that I'm looking at, well, I'll get to that in a second. But now I feel better about the Steelers for next year. We don't know who their offensive line is. They're going to get healthy. The offensive line coach, they had to get rid of him when 90% of the players, they weren't playing. So you got rid of him. Now the guy who should have been gone, who should have never been here, and I've said this from the beginning, this is my new rant of 2014, Todd Haley shouldn't be here. But there's one nice thing if you need to know. Big Ben said they agree on how the offense is. Now think back a second. We've talked about it. A no-huddle offense, Ben calls 99% of the plays. Okay, they solved the Haley problem. Now we got to go to defense. I don't know how it's going to go. You got to cut guys that weigh 400 pounds and they're linebackers. You got to do something like that. We need old guys out of the secondary. I mean, they have to go. Kiesel's one of my favorite players. When he played 6 games, he was fantastic. But I think it's still a 16-game season. And then we're looking for at least one playoff game next year. So I'm hopeful. That's one of my New Year's wishes, not resolution, that I'm going to root for the Steelers, and I'm going to give my prediction like I did last week, 11-5, because it's another easy schedule. All they got to do is win. Win the games you're supposed to. Lose one of the games you shouldn't. 11-5. Have a nice evening, folks. Thank you. Tell your mom those cookies are gone as of 2 days ago. My son and I, we finally crushed them. It was hard for us. But we're stubborn.
I wish y'all to share it with a brother.
If you wouldn't have gone to the hospital, I had a care package for you, but we couldn't wait any longer. When this text phone goes, hey, Al, I'm in the hospital. Whoa, I'll be right out. I can't tell you what hospital I'm in. Okay, the cookies are ours. That's right. So that's the truth.
We called every hospital in the tri-state area, asked them, where's Batman?
Yeah, and the only problem with that, the only place that didn't know was God's country. The hospitals in God's country said, there's nobody by that name. Nobody with that description. I mean, I had model agencies calling. I had hundreds of women on Facebook looking out for, where's Batman? And I said, that's why he's Batman. So, enough of that, Mario.
But I have a question for you. What took you so long to eat the cookies?
Patience. And plus some of the aggravating football games.
Okay.
It's hard to eat delicious hillbilly cookies when you're choking on the teams choking on their plays.
Well, I wish you had been with me when I was watching the games. My mother, I can't repeat some of the things she said during the games, but she did like the massive comeback, like she told us when she was here.
Yes.
She loves when the other team comes back, and she got her wish.
She loves an underdog.
That's right. That was one heck of a comeback. There's no doubt about it.
And the picture that you sent me on my dumb phone, it's a classic. The picture of you and your mom, that got to be framed. You got to admit that. That's a true classic.
It is classic.
No doubt. What's going on in the new year now for you?
Well, I heard something on the radio today, and I don't understand. I'm one of the biggest sports fans around. However, they were talking today about what will Ben Roethlisberger do when a new contract is handed to him. Is he going to go for being the highest paid player? And someone says, go for it all. Well, isn't $100 million all? I mean, that's what he would have made already.
102 is what he had.
Okay, that's all. I can't count that high. I mean, where's it going to end? Really, where's it going to end? You can't spend that much.
It doesn't matter. Here's what it is. They're all competitive guys. If they're only playing for $1 a year, they want to make $2 a year. That's how simple it is. An old-time guy I worked with at the Pittsburgh Press, he goes, you think a guy with 11 million is as happy as a guy with 12 million? And these are athletes.
Yeah, the egos are big. There's no
you
doubt
hear
about
that
it.
Eli just re-signed a big contract.
Oh, no.
And here's the thing, I mean, once you make that much money, I mean, how much more money do you need to make? But it's an ego thing. It's like, well, what? I've been to 3 Super Bowls. He's only been to 2. If he's getting $100 million, then I should get 130.
Well, let's thank the Chicago Bears, too,
Don't
for
mention that.
the contract
Oh,
they
don't
gave out.
mention that.
I mean, they ruined it all.
Well, you know what? They probably also ruined their future too, because
Well, that's
what
okay if
gonna
it
end
ruins
up
their
doing
future.
That's a good thing.
Is handcuffing the franchise further down the road so they can't afford better players.
Well, that's what's going to happen to us, too. That's what I'm worried about. I don't mind paying them, but then, the problems the last 2 years, that's one of the biggest problems. A lot of players were overpaid, and then you can't get anybody else to fill in the blanks.
But they filled up 4 hours of airtime talking about this subject, and they're talking about something that hasn't happened yet, okay, that may or may not happen. Right now he's under contract for the next 2 years.
Right.
And he's already in his first initial $100 million contract. He's already earned $70 million of that. So he's got $15 million coming a year for the next 2 years. And you know what? Let's talk about it once there's something real on the table, and then we can.
I agree, but it got my blood boiling, that's for sure.
I agree, and it's just people looking for a story. We had a friend, when sports writers don't have anything else to do,
Yep.
they stir it up. So I'll use that quote because he wasn't the original on it, just so you know. I did work in a newspaper, and they even said that.
Yeah, it's
I mean,
a slow news week.
And that's part of it. We never have a slow news week. I don't know if you guys watch us regularly, but we haven't had one yet. And I don't foresee it because Smoking Jim, look at what his volume does. Chip brings up all his opinions, and I round it out with my opinions and a little bit of facts. So we appreciate what you're saying. I'm not worried about Big Ben because one injury away could end that next negotiation.
I understand that.
For the simple fact, he didn't have an offensive line this year, so I got to give him hats off for the performance that he did. He just showed me the potential that he has to play a little different style, but you need an offensive line that can block or tackle at least, you know.
Well, and as much as you chastise our friend Todd Haley, Ben did have one of his best statistical seasons of his career this year by actually playing in all 16 games.
Hold it. I got to do a disclaimer. I respect your opinion, and I appreciate a lot of it, but sometimes you're on a team where in spite of what you've done, you've won a Super Bowl. And in spite of being on an offense that Big Ben carried the whole team, and you had Antonio Brown step up even after he was disciplined, that wasn't a reflection on Todd Haley. Maybe it's more on Mike Tomlin because he wasn't patting guys on the back. I had reports from friends that he didn't see hugs those first 4 games. And I said, unless they're winning, he doesn't want to hug a player. So look what happened. 6-2 at the end of the season.
Look
I
what
gotta
Bill
give him
Cowher
credit.
did. Bill Cowher used to give him sloppy, wet kisses.
Well,
and spit on him while I was talking.
well, the chin knew how to win. I don't know where I stole that one. I'm not going to ever be a Todd Haley fan when they win the Super Bowl. Hey, Chip, I hope they win a Super Bowl in spite of him because it means they have an offensive line and they have a defense that can actually play defense for maybe the last quarter of the game because that's when we need it. And we've been lacking that for a while. And it's not so bad that LeBeau's getting old because it's the same system. I say if you put some 25-year-olds and 27-year-olds, all of a sudden LeBeau's a genius again. And I'm waiting for that.
Or if you drink a special kind of juice that's going to give you the energy to play a full game.
Where is it?
Dovetailed out really nice.
Where is it? I was looking for my Happy New Year energy protein
it's in the
supplement, Mona V. Oh, man. Hey, for less than $3, contact this guy right here. How do they get a hold of you this year?
Oh, that's a good question, Same as last year, believe it or not. I kept the same number this year.
I want to thank you for that because you can say it right now.
412-417-7301. Again, 412-417-7301. Start out the new year right.
And they can also find you on Facebook, right?
I'm definitely on Facebook, yep.
And he posts a lot of sports stuff, and sometimes you see the Mona V.
A little bit of comedy, a little bit of pictures of my grandchildren.
Well, sometimes it's very little comedy, and then those pictures they're
I
very
resemble
good.
that remark.
No, you do put up a lot of great stuff. I'm glad we become friends and share that type of stuff because I'll repost it on Pittsburgh Sportsline on Facebook if you missed that. So you'll see more of that.
I appreciate it.
And, send some stuff to the dumb phone because I can look at it. Any other closing words for your debut performance on Pittsburgh Sportsline?
I just have, all your opinions. What do you really think besides clashing that the offensive line coach was let go?
I think he had some personal things that were going on because look at a few years ago, the one guy was looking at pornography. So the Steelers have a habit of getting rid of guys if they're not looking at the model that they have. So I don't want to speculate whether he's a good guy or a bad guy. I personally thought, if I use the Todd Haley analogy that Chip gave me, the offensive line coach is a genius.
No, actually, I think, the reason probably, when we'll really never know the answer to this, but, he didn't have the players that he needed for his system. And, and you're not going to revamp everybody and bring in, you've got what you've got. You need to work your system around the players that you have instead of trying to jam a square peg into a round hole.
But didn't it work the last half of the season?
Well, that's when they stopped going into the zone blocking scheme, and when they went back to doing things the way
he
they
only
did
did
before.
about 3 plays of the zone block.
Yeah, until Pouncey got hurt.
Yeah,
Then
and
it
they wiped
stopped.
out Marquise Pouncey, and then that kind of
Well, I think he had to teach, DeCastro, because Smoking Jim had said that he was a little light on his feet with his blocking. But he actually did a great job on Pouncey. That was one of the better blocks.
Well, I think he's colorblind, and I think that's what the problem was. He had color recognition problems.
That was just a stellar performance because he took him out with one block. So, well, I'm hopeful. My opinion is we'll never know, like I said.
No, we'll never know.
Just a glimpse of his real potential.
But Haley should go. Haley should go.
And he won't.
Well, I had to get that in this new year.
That's his opinion on this television station. That's his opinion only.
There's some fans out there because I get a lot of feedback in the communities. And we're not haters, just so you know. I actually have apathy towards Todd Haley. Apathy. It's a little guy.
That's some big words.
Yeah, little guy. But I'm apathetic. I'm in the apathetic Todd Haley league.
Well, actually, Smoking Jim said you're pathetic, not apathetic.
Whoa. What, because I don't like him?
We're going downhill fast, aren't we?
All right, Mary, we got to get you out of here.
Thank you.
Thanks for your great performance. Happy 2014.
Next up, I tell you what, there's nobody other than my dad on this planet that I got more respect for. Oh, he got his face in a plate. I don't know if we can bring him up. I tell you what, this is a guy that is committed to his word. Whatever he say, he's going to do.
Thank you. Thanks.
I tell you what, he's an international master photographer. He's also in the Sip Sports Bar Hall of Fame. Put your hands together for my main man, Bill Dynamite Boyce.
Happy 2014.
Good to see you again.
Look at that shirt he has there.
It's colorful.
Yes, it is.
I figured I'd start
Just
off
like
here.
you
You know
are.
what? If we could
Just
get
like
a
you
picture, can somebody get his camera? Take Bill Boyce's photo with the
Wipe
camera.
off a little bit of that meatball hoagie.
Yeah, I got them loaded fries with the jalapenos.
Did you?
There you
Yeah.
go.
Did you eat
Don't
any?
wake your mouth up.
Not yet.
Okay. You could have brought a couple up. We like to share. Oh,
He's
man.
seen the way you go have French fries.
I know. There's our chef. And we have Alicia Ann trying to take a photo here with the Bill Boyce award-winning camera.
She's too far away, though. The lighting's going to be terrible.
I don't know. That camera, you have it trained. So what's going on in 2014 for you?
Well, we're more or less a continuation of last year. We got some calendar projects going on.
Nice. I
We've
see
got-
you posting photos up of your new models and
Right. We
other
got some
projects.
magazine submissions getting ready to happen.
Nice.
You know Kelly Roberts is on here a lot of times.
I know Kelly Irish.
Kelly Irish. Call her what you want.
Oh, Kelly Roberts too. I know both of them.
We're getting ready to start our own variety TV show.
Nice.
So we got that coming up.
That's great.
We've already found some sponsors, so business is looking up.
We'll be looking forward to that. Definitely. Where are you going to broadcast that?
We haven't decided that yet, but we're looking for a stage, and I think
A stage, did you say?
yes. So we're going to put on a regular TV show.
Nice.
Unfortunately, we won't be sitting down relaxing, but you know we got to get up and get people going. We're looking for singers, comedians, actors and actresses.
Oh, great.
Try to get some people. Some,
How will they get a hold of you then?
They
Since you're-
give me a call at 412-537-3128. And on Facebook, it's Bill Boyce. And we've got tons of photos on there. You can take a
Gonna be
look
the
at.
next Arsenio Hall.
Does he take photos too? He didn't say he's the host. Are you the host of the show
I
too?
think Kelly and I are going to co-host.
He
Oh,
takes
great.
photos for Marvin Lewis.
I was thinking more of Ed Sullivan, but
Ed Sullivan? I like that. Maybe you can have Topo Gigio.
there you go.
You got to find somebody there.
We're going back a couple years.
That's before your time, Sonny.
Well, it sounds like you got a full plate there.
We got some things going on, so definitely looking forward to 2014.
Well, good luck in 2014.
Thank
Thanks
you.
for all of your
Thank
great
you for having me.
photos. We appreciate
Well, it's always
it.
Welcome to the Pittsburgh Sportsline at SIP's halftime show. We have an extended show because we got a lot of sports. We may even throw a prediction or two out. Maybe who's going to win the Super Bowl or something. But I want to first promote something that I want to do on our halftime show. I met a gentleman today, and I don't know if you can get a close-up of this. Smoking Jim, if you take a little peek at this, this is right near you.
God's country.
I don't know if you can read it because you've been pretty quiet. I've been saving you. Now, this is a brew and chew. They have beer and everything else. There's actually food tastings there. A friend of mine, Jeff Weinberg here, he told me his wife's in charge of it, Dee, so I'll give a shout out to her. And you know how I talk about on the show, Chip, about 2 degrees of separation and Smoking Jim about
Yes,
2
I
degrees.
sure do. Yes, sir.
You guys are not going to believe the golf. Well, you will because I'm giving you the tip. The golfer that's on this show, on this event, Aaron Jenton, is there. He's actually friends with Jeff and Dee. Jeff's not a golfer, but one of his best friends is, and he speaks highly of Aaron. So we got all kind of. There's beer sampling, food tasting, tavern games, live music, and more. Special guest, Garrett Oliver. Now, he might be a cousin of yours. He's from Brooklyn Brewery. He's going to talk beer and food pairings. Now, this is $35 online. Look at the sponsors they have.
Wow.
This is at the Monroeville Convention Center.
Monroeville, where's that at?
God's country.
Hey, Mario, that's where we met you with, what was that, the Kumatai Classic? And that's coming up May 23rd, May 24th. But this event is this Saturday, January 11th. There's 2 sessions, 1 to 4 and 5 to 8. Smoking Jim, we might be able to get into the place.
Wow.
You might get to eat some food if you're not on that restricted diet that I was thinking you're on. To your health, my friend. Now let's start with this sports during the halftime show. What are you guys thinking about sports here? Let's kick this 2014 season off here at halftime.
It's the beginning of the new year, and it's like 2 degrees, minus 2 degrees outside.
Wow.
And, what's on my mind is Wednesday's big day. It's a really big day on Wednesday because Wednesday they announce the inductees into the Baseball Hall of Fame this year. And a little shameless plug here from Watch Our Show tomorrow night. I'll go into detail on 2 people that I think should be shoo-ins for the Hall of Fame.
Nice.
I'll go over some statistics about them. But, that's kind of what's on my mind. Get a little bit away from the cold weather and football and start thinking warm thoughts.
Well, 12 Mondays till the baseball season starts for the Pirates at PNC Park.
5
March
weeks.
31st.
5 weeks till spring training.
Right, so it's getting close, Chip. The winter meetings have gone on, and there's still some trades that need to happen. We can talk some Bucco talk, but they do need a few changes. They did great. They still got to settle some of these guys that are free agents and try to work some of the arbitration deals out. So we'll wait to see what happens.
By the time the season rolls around, it'll all work itself out. And I'm looking forward to opening day.
Smoking Jim Frazier, what's going on in your sports world?
It's not too late to call Lucky Louie. Listen, the national championship is tonight. I've already got my bet in. I got Florida State by 10. Call your bookie right now. Make some money on Florida State, the ACC, to win the national championship over Auburn tonight. Big shout out to my main man, Devin Shea. Couldn't do it without you. 100 shows. Give it a big hand for Devin. My business
Here, get him up here. Get him up
Aaron
here.
Ward is here, and we got the Rookie of the Year.
Hold it, 80
Appreciate
shows.
you guys.
He did 80 shows 12 years in a
80
row.
shows,
12 years in a row.
If you would have made the award dinner, you would have known that.
and I did 50 Shades of Grey.
Would you read a book?
I'm still reading Cindy Portier.
He did get to the first page when he went to the hospital.
It don't have any pictures. It's going to take a while.
You got to see last week's show. I posted it before we come out here. Little Z found the book that you wrote. You're going to have
Really?
to. Yeah, you have to watch the show. I can't tease you anymore. It's hilarious. I even had to read it, which Little Z didn't expect me to read different things that really weren't there. But it's a new classic on Pittsburgh Sportsline, and you can see it on Pittsburgh Sportsline on Facebook.
It's out there.
Definitely. But we've had a lot of great help this past year. But I did find something out. Our man Chuck Bonasort, the Kamikaze Kid, sent me a photo with one of the quarterbacks that you didn't like. And now that's your favorite team. So now I see why you're betting the house. It's a lead cinch pipe bet. You can't lose. Oh, here, Brandy, while we're talking sports, try to move that camera over a little bit. Oh, thank you very much.
Thank you, Brandy.
Best coffee on the planet.
Thanks to Dan the man. Hey, Smoking Jim, have you heard any more on your gateway picks, your top 5 gateway picks? I thought maybe you'd do a little update on those 5. Do you know anything more? I know you've been out of action for a week or so.
Well, they're negotiating with all the major colleges all across the country, so they're taking those free trips. One of the young guys signed with Michigan State already, but hopefully the other 4 go to Temple University.
Nice.
Stay in Pennsylvania.
There you go. Well, they're Pennsylvania guys. Hey, I ran into one of your cousins, Kev Organ. I was at Station Square. He was a guest on our show. And I run into him in Station Square.
Wow.
And he walks up to me.
Is he the talking machine?
No, he's not. He was doing security, and he didn't know you were in the hospital, or he would have asked about you, but he does have an important event. His wife is due to have their child today. So a little shout out and prayers to Kev.
Yes, absolutely.
So good luck with the new baby, and they're ready to have that happen. So you'll have another godchild, I'm sure.
I know a lot of security guards know how to deliver babies.
How do you know all this stuff? I don't believe
That's
any of
called
that.
book smart.
I don't believe that. All right, with all these playoffs, can you guys make a bold pick on who's going to win the Super Bowl? Smoking Jim, is that possible yet, or you got?
There hasn't been a black quarterback to win the Super Bowl since Doug Williams, and he's an old man now. I'm predicting there will be a black quarterback win the Super Bowl this year, and he plays in Seattle. He's only about 5'7", but he's going to be a Super Bowl champion. Seattle beats the Denver Broncos for the Super Bowl this year.
I got to disagree. I predicted Denver and Seattle in the final. In New Jersey, it's going to be 10 below 0 when they go to the Super Bowl. And Peyton Manning signing that extra contract with the stem cells that help keep him alive. He's going to win. All right?
How did his brother do? How did his brother do in that same stadium this year? That's a bad omen for the Mannings.
No, they're separate guys. They even look different. He has stem cells, and his brother looks much different. He has that choking disease. I mean, he has won a Super Bowl, but he does have some choking issue there. So, Chip, what's on your mind there? Who do you predict?
You know, I got to tend to agree with my friend Jim here. I do believe the Seattle Seahawks. I'm going to even make a bolder prediction, and I'm saying that the Chargers are going to knock Peyton out of the playoffs early again this year. Because Peyton Manning has a habit of not rising to the occasion in big games.
Wow.
Woo! That quieted the room, didn't it?
Well, I'll give you a little background with why I called Chip the Prophet Hainer the Prophet. He picked the New York Giants a couple years ago, and they weren't even close to winning. He saw a spark there, and he kept saying it, and we kept, like how we treat Smoking Jim most of the time with his bold predictions, with a lot of disrespect here.
And one thing I can say, Chip got the best eye in the room. Look at Steph.
Yeah, I'm a lucky man.
I think he got the best both eyes. That one eye's being prejudiced there, buddy.
You little Sammy Davis Jr. I know you little Sammy Davis Jr.
Well, we're going to hit the edit button on that one.
Well, we weren't trying to do our comedy routine till tomorrow night, but that's it for our halftime show. Thanks for watching Halftime at Sip Sports Bar. We appreciate it.
What you talking about? What you talking about?
Tell everybody who you are. We're not going to interrupt you. This is 2014. We got a little loose at the end, so introduce yourself and tell them who you are.
Well, gentlemen, thank you very much. I'm Trapper Tom. I'm the ring announcer for Pittsburgh's only professional wrestling organization, the Keystone State Wrestling Alliance. I'm also a freelance writer that has done a lot of feature stories and sports-related stories along the way. I'm from a small town in between Johnstown and Altoona, so you were close. Portage, Cambria County.
I know
what
Portage.
I call the center of the universe. That's what I call it. But
You say Universe?
The breadbasket of the
Universe,
universe.
that's right. Mr. Universe Bob Atlas was supposed to be here today, but it is a Monday, so he
Hold it,
wasn't
wait,
able to
time out. I do have to give you an interruption. I did see on Facebook, for some unknown reason, after the mayor was sworn in, he took off his shirt and then tried to walk down the street, and I don't think he made it to the end of the block.
No,
Well, I think
I
that,
can shed some light on this. And
Okay.
This ended up
I
as
didn't
a
wanna
dare.
know.
You know, somebody he mentioned, I'm going to take my shirt off and walk out to my car, and somebody said, no, you're not. And me being of the same ilk as he is, I'm a bonehead. If somebody tells me I can't do something, that just about guarantees you that I will. So he did, and he came. And he
Will
came
you run
through
through
and
that
said he
Sip
did
Sports
what he
Bar
said he was
window?
gonna do. So he's probably trying to shake the chill out of his bones right now.
Well, unlike you, Chip, you're a strapping figure and all, but you're not 369
And
pounds,
I'm
3% body fat from
3%
every girl's
body
dream.
fat. God bless him.
Mr. Puniverse Bob Atlas. But I want to thank you for allowing me to come on today. The KSWA returns to action this Saturday night at the home of professional wrestling in Pittsburgh, the KSWA Arena in Lawrenceville, 51st and Butler Street. Battle Bowl 6, our annual over-the-top.
What time do the gates open?
Gates open about 6:45, and bell time is at 7:30. Tickets are $10 for adults, $8 for kids, so it's very
You're in
affordable.
Smoking
Oh,
Jack.
so I can get in for $8. That's great.
You guys get in. We got the designation. They're under
That's
18.
right. That's right.
No, that sounds great.
And it's always a family-friendly atmosphere. People bring their families and kids, and they have a great time. This is our over-the-top rope battle royal, in which the 3 remaining guys in the battle royal get title shots for the 5-star championship, the Golden Triangle Championship, as well as the most prestigious singles title in all the Commonwealth, the KSWA World Heavyweight Championship.
No way.
So they have all
No
year
way.
to cash that in after getting their berths
So
from
it's kind of like a
Battle Bowl.
Money in the Bank kind of a deal.
Exactly.
Okay, great.
Now, how many matches are there?
There's going to be about 5 or 6 matches
Okay.
before the Battle Royal, and the Battle Royal takes up most of the evening, and it is something that is very exciting. The fans have made it very exciting because they want to anticipate, they want to see who comes out next. They start off with 2 guys in the ring, and then every 2 minutes somebody else comes in, and then you have the full complement of wrestlers in the ring, and then the official Battle Bowl begins, in which it's over the top rope
Now,
elimination.
you know, how many men will we actually be in the Battle Bowl
It
match?
could be in the neighborhood of 24 to 30. It's always a little, because, you know, to be honest, you have cancellations, you have last
We know
minute
what that's
additions.
like.
No,
We
we
had
that
18
nature.
people coming to the show tonight.
So I appreciate you coming out
I-
of the woods
I-
while you were hunting.
32 degrees below zero.
That's
well,
right.
you know, I've seen a number of over-the-top rope battle royals in my time, and you know, and I can understand people being a little bit antsy about showing up because
Yeah.
you got things coming at you from every direction, and the idea is to get thrown out of the ring, and sometimes
That's right.
what you land on isn't soft.
I've had people come over the top rope. I sit at ringside with a table with my laptop, and I chronicle everything that happens
Really?
Sure.
inside the ring. And there have been times when guys almost have fallen on me coming over the top
Mm-hmm.
rope. And when you have a 385-pounder like 7-foot tall Jack Massacre coming over
Yes.
the top,
You say 7 foot tall,
Yep.
too. We got to meet some of these guys because Mr. Puniverse, he's awesome.
Tom,
and that
right now
Dr.
I'm thinking about
Devastation.
showing up. I'm thinking about coming down.
Well, that'd be
Saturday
great.
night.
That'd be great.
I'd
If
really love to
any
have
of you
you
guys,
watch
anytime
the
you show
venue.
up, I promise I'll give you a shout out from the ring.
We don't want to promise we'll be there, and we
Oh, I
don't
know.
expect you to shout us out because we're sort of low key
I like a
type of
shout out.
guys.
I like a shout out.
Anytime, especially, Lazarus comes back, my
Yeah.
Vulcan brother.
Did you like that?
I missed where you kissed him on the forehead, but,
That happened twice early in the game. It happened. He was healed,
he was healed.
and he walked,
But
fully clothed too.
so we also have other matches as well as the Battle Bowl.
What would be
type-
one of the best that you would see, except for the Battle Royale? Would there
Well,
be
there
one
is a,
like as a new fan? Because I'd be a new fan. I've watched wrestling over the years with Chili Billy,
Yeah.
and I sort of missed a generation. All my friends would go down to the Civic Arena and everything else.
Fans of Pittsburgh Sportsline are familiar with Mr. Puniverse, Bob Atlas, of course,
Yeah.
as well as the now former KSWA World Heavyweight Champion, Dr. Devastation, Lou Martin.
I like him. He's actually a nice guy.
The owner of the KSWA, Sean Blanchard, has inked a deal in which it's a rematch from the main event at FanFest. The new KSWA World Heavyweight Champion, the most important professional wrestler in Pennsylvania, Shane Starr, will defend not only that belt, but the Golden Triangle Championship as well, which he held going into FanFest. Both belts are on the line one more time against Dr. Devastation, Lou Martin.
You know what? I appreciate you explaining that because for some of us that are new to it and some of the fans we want to bring there, we want to create that interest there. I'm getting a lot of people asking me questions about you and where's this KSWA wrestling in Lawrenceville?
That's right.
So, I mean, there's a lot of interest growing there.
It was also a big deal for the KSWA today, Monday, downtown. KSWA Crazy, a big KSWA wrestling fan. Bill Peduto was sworn in as the 60th mayor of the city of Pittsburgh today.
Best of luck to Bill Peduto.
In his first time at the KSWA in the year 2010, he presented the KSWA with a proclamation giving us our own day that year because of our then 10th anniversary in professional wrestling in Pittsburgh. And then, when I introduced him as the next mayor of the city of Pittsburgh.
Wow.
In 2010.
I think I bowed to the new prophet.
Yeah, there were a bunch of hopeful people there. I did meet them also. And I wasn't allowed to say that on city-county property.
Oh, really?
I actually got in trouble a couple times with that because I'm outspoken.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Well, yeah,
But the funny thing was,
I up the belt and
he had
He looks
our
good.
belt on election night.
Yes, he did.
He held the KSWA World Heavyweight Championship over his head on election night.
I'm sure there'll be a story coming up about this, folks.
Oh, you have to go to KSWA.net. I already wrote it.
He's one jump ahead of you, Alan. He's one jump ahead.
You know what? Those smartphones for 2014, this dumb one didn't cut
You
it.
can check KSWA.net, and I think the headline is something to the effect of what was that belt Bill Peduto
Am I
held?
your best straight man or what?
You are. You're very good.
See, you
You're
don't
very
even
good at
have to
setting me
pretend
up.
like you're smart smoking, Jim, and I'm not doing that very well.
But what
He's
was
crushing
funny,
me.
What was funny in 2010 when I made that Chip Hayner-like proclamation,
Yes.
that prophecy in
I'm telling you.
the ring, I had completely forgotten about that. It was a fan who reminded me that I was the first one to say
See
it.
that?
So that's how loyal
KSWA fans are lifetime fans.
they are. Lifetime fans. They're the most knowledgeable fans
And the crazies.
and the crazies.
Yeah, don't forget them. That's awesome.
Yeah, and Puny's Loonies, huh?
Puny's Loonies.
How did
I can imagine. I've seen pictures where he's been with people. And they've taken their shirts off and danced.
Are you serious?
Hence the him taking his shirt off.
So that's his style.
That's his style. That's how he. I'm going to tell a story. I don't think that he minds me telling it. He
Is
may
this
have
a
even
clean story?
Yeah, it's a pretty clean story.
Okay. It's a family show.
It is
still.
a family. KSWA is a family product.
And I'm
He knew
sarcastic.
Yeah, you're sarcastic. he knew some people that had a death in their family, and there were a couple of young kids that were devastated by the loss of a member of their family. And he happened to see them, and they said to him, they said to their mother, is that Mr. Puniverse, Bob Atlas? And they said it was. So the mother came over to Mr. Puniverse and said, these kids recognize you and all that. And, and he says, let's go into the back room. They went into the back room, and he just had a little one-on-one talking to the kids. The next thing you know, they had their shirts off and they're dancing and they're throwing
Wait.
What a way!
Forgot all their troubles.
They forgot all their troubles because he made things light for them, and in a very difficult situation.
Thanks for sharing that. That is some of the things we like to promote here. Some positive things out there.
That's what the KSWA does.
Yep.
Not long after Shane Starr won the KSWA World Championship, he and his longtime tag team partner and friend Chris Cash went to a kindergarten at. We did that fundraiser in Bloomfield. They had a pizza party. The kindergarten class won a free pizza party that the KSWA purchased for them.
Wow.
And Chris Cash and Shane Starr went with the belts to kindergarten and had lunch with the kids. They had a pizza lunch with the kids.
I'm sure there were photo ops for them.
Photos on Facebook and on the KSWA website. Let me tell you one thing. No one anywhere on the independent professional wrestling level does that anywhere.
And I want to tell you something. The wrestlers probably had a better time than the kids.
Oh yeah, yeah. You talk to some. Sometimes, let's be honest. Sometimes independent wrestlers don't understand the importance, and that's why the KSWA belt's the most important belt, because we reach out to the community. The mayor of the second largest city in the Commonwealth holds our belt in the air because he understands what it is and what we do.
He's a KSW crazy.
He's a KSWA crazy, and
you'll throw him out.
We work very hard to give that to the fans. It's never about us. It's about the fans.
Yeah, absolutely.
And it's entertaining the fans.
We appreciate what you do. That's why we're fans. We're fans of it, and that's why we're trying to cross promote some of your things and get it out there. I'm working on having a page for you. I'm looking into a couple things with a fan page for the Trapper Tom page or something, so we can get a little more publicity.
That would be sweet.
Maybe even an online presence there. Because if you're going to write 45 articles to 100 this year, we're going to have something that will be more outstanding.
Yeah.
We'll have to talk
appreciate
about that, definitely.
Also, a story that I wrote over the weekend that was posted over the weekend, Jumpin' Johnny DeFazio from Studio Wrestling Days was named, not only do we have the biggest crazy in Grant Street, the council president of Allegheny County Council, Jumpin' Johnny DeFazio, was a studio wrestling guy, and he succeeds Chuck Maritoni, who was also a studio wrestler.
I'm sensing a trend here in the city.
People still love those guys. People still love those guys, and Jumpin' Johnny. I was fortunate enough to meet him on a number of occasions.
That's great.
We have been trying to get Jumpin' Johnny to come to the KSWA arena so we can officially and formally induct him into the KSWA Hall of Fame, but he has other things going on right now that more important to him. And but I wrote a story because sometimes I look and I say, there hasn't been a feature story on this person, or it hasn't been, this hasn't been thought through enough. So I try to do the research on that.
Well, I'm about shameless promotions, and I see you have a little bit of that in you also. That if somebody's not getting the publicity that they should have, and the nice things that they're doing and the great things in the community, you bring it out. So.
Well, I appreciate that because, Wonder Woman said something nice to me a couple of shows ago. One of the very first shows that when I came back as a second guest, she said, I could just sense your goodness. And that was very humbling to me because that's what it's all about. It's not about what I do. It's been able to focus on gentlemen like yourself, my good Vulcan brother. And
that's
Chip.
why we're trying to help you.
Oh, yeah. It's
no problem.
It's about
check our egos at the door.
check our egos at the door and just try to lift each other up and encourage one another, because outside those doors, sometimes it's not as nice as it is inside.
We can handle it. It's nothing there. Who cares about the haters? There's haters all over the place, they say. That's the new catchphrase. I'll put something positive out there.
Oh,
Maybe
absolutely.
It'll blow them out there.
Absolutely.
So. And that's why we'll keep doing this stuff. We're going to try to have more of you guys and any of the crazies on here that want to come out. They're welcome anytime.
We
they have
appreciate
something
that.
going on. And we're going to try to attend your little show here this weekend. I'm going to hope we can get out there. Is it going to be warmer on Saturday?
What's the weather forecast? The temperature said close to 50. So from a minus 40 tomorrow morning to almost 50 on Saturday.
Saturday, 49 degrees.
That's a 90-degree swing. Welcome to Western Pennsylvania.
Yeah.
No, it sounds good.
And if half the city isn't sick now, they will be by the weekend.
That's right. I have a little bit of nasal congestion. I hope it's done by the weekend.
Not with the voice you have. It just makes it stronger and more powerful. Don't you worry about a thing. And I heard some of your lady fans really appreciate the voice that you have. They do mention you, so there's some good publicity out there.
That's good. That's good.
Keep doing what you're doing. You got anything else you want to throw out there? Do you have an article that you're working on that you can tease us with? Because you already did 2 this year, and it's only the 6th.
Yeah, only 2.
I don't know what happened to you.
A couple of other things, but don't forget our good friend Marcus Robinson, the Pittsburgh Bullets,
yes,
on Sunday the 19th. I hope to make it out there.
Yeah, we're going to try to make it for that one. And
maybe we should get a bus. Maybe get a bus from Sips to go up.
The only problem is we have to sell tickets to get on the bus there. So, or we'll just meet there.
Maybe we'll just meet there.
It might be easier.
But yeah, check them out because he's a young guy that was inducted into the Connie Hawkins Hall of Fame a couple of months ago. And I actually have to...
it wasn't the keynote speaker, one of the top MCs in the country, let alone Pittsburgh there. Who is this gentleman? Smoking Jim Frazier. He MC'd, and I didn't even know that he was MCing. He just told me he was on the show. I never figure it out. I'm looking to see one of these great shows. I can't wait because I've heard so many good things, and I even have one of the T-shirts for the champions from Connie Hawkins. I wear it when I go to sleep now.
I think when Harold Hayes is busy, they call.
I don't know. I think they call this guy first.
Smoking Jim's their go-to guy.
There's no doubt. He's one of a kind. Thanks again.
All right, thank
Nobody
you.
move! How many shows have we done at SIP so far, Al?
46.
And we got 6 people in the Hall of Fame. Now we got number 7, my man Trapper. Hey! Hall of Fame!
Thank you.
We're not worthy. We're not worthy.
You know what? We don't have the awards made up right now. We're still working on that. Congratulations.
Thank you.
I didn't know.
I didn't know either.
Lazarus come off the deathbed.
Before you come up, Calendar Model is going to make another TV appearance on Wednesday. She'll be on Channel 21. Please put your hands together for Calendar Model, Gabrielle Baker, the touchdown maker.
I don't know my Steelers scarf. Can you see the shirt? Can you see the shirt? You got it? You got it?
I love that
The camera's always on. Have a seat.
Hi.
After that introduction, you
I know
might as
you
well
like that.
you might as well
I
introduce
know
yourself
since
again.
We're not in there, but I had to get my Steelers stuff out. I'm Gabrielle Baker.
That's a
Hi.
nice scarf.
Thank you.
I like the Steeler gear.
Right. I had to let it out since we're
It's
not,
good.
not
We
doing
appreciate you coming in on 2 degrees below zero.
that. Yeah, you're lucky I'm here. It's the French fries and the coffee. I'm telling you.
There you go.
And the best friend, of course, but still.
I was gonna say that's your ace.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's my
Without this ace, I don't think I'd see it. Okay. At least tonight.
But you bribe me with the fries. Well, not you per se, but when I come to Sips,
Yeah.
I get bribed with the French fries.
Hold it.
And the
Where's
coffee.
those loaded fries? You ate them all by yourself.
No. I gotta save some, put them in a box. box for myself.
Okay.
You better stay away from my fries.
Well, last year when you were here, you let me have a taste of
You're
it.
right, I did.
So I just thought you were still that kind soul in
I am.
2014.
I'm still nice, but then I see
You're
you eat my best
possessive.
friend's fries. So I was
Hold
like,
it, they're
these.
our fries. You know our?
I don't know.
Those are your fries. I'm eyeing them up. Brandy, bring those over. They still look warm.
I like the nails.
Thank you.
Who does your nails?
I did them myself, actually.
There you go.
Just saying.
What's going on with all this supermodel and calendar? And I don't know if we're allowed to talk your personal life or anything,
we can
because
talk
I see it on
whatever.
Facebook, and I always ask,
Yeah,
because I don't want to just blurt out.
Absolutely. My husband and I decided to get back together, so I am remarried, kind of, with the same guy. Does that make sense?
That's remarried.
Yeah, remarried. So.
Well,
that
congratulations.
works. Yay! Thank you.
That's
Let me
good.
take
I wish
time.
you the best.
Thank you.
You have a beautiful child.
Thank you very much. He's crazy. He's
very
a little terrorist,
cute.
but he's cute. He's cute and everything, but
Look
he's
at his
two.
mom.
Right, very true.
We all go through twos. I'm sure your mom would say you went through twos a couple times.
She reminds me all the time.
Oh, okay.
All the time,
That-
especially when he comes over to her house. She's like, yeah, this is you when you were two.
There you go. Well, now we covered the personal. What about the professional?
Professional, still doing the calendar.
Okay.
Still working on it, trying to
Right.
get it out.
It's a
I promise
progress.
You'll
It's
be
work
the
in
first to get it.
progress.
Well, the second. We talked about
Oh,
that. You'll be
okay.
number
Thanks.
two. You'll be
Yeah,
number
don't lie to
three.
me. Don't lie to me.
I can't
I'm
do that.
okay being
I can't do that.
number
But I
three.
did actually just set up an appointment with Bill
Good.
for February 25th, so I can
Because you
do
know we're all about moving
things.
forward.
Absolutely.
We're all about positive. We try to throw
Absolutely.
that out there.
Absolutely.
So
So it would be nice to work with Bill. He's a really good photographer. So it'd
sure.
be nice to.
He
try
takes
to do
some great
things.
great photos of us, and his best PR man, if
Yeah.
you didn't know, is your best friend, the Ace, Smoking Jim Frazier.
And she'll be on Channel 21 on Wednesday.
On Wednesday.
Is
right?
that Steel City Sports World that's been around for about 12 years?
Sure has.
We're gonna stay tuned. You know,
I
I
hope
watched
so.
that show.
I hope so. You gotta tell me if I'm nervous then too.
Well,
I'm not nervous
just
today,
gonna,
but I might be nervous
I'm
on
just gonna
Wednesday.
tell you, you're gonna be nervous.
Oh, don't
Because
tell me that.
there's nobody that does interviews like we do on a show
Very
here.
true. I
So
believe it.
that's the difference. And we're respectful of everybody here, even if we disagree.
Can I
That's
take
just-
you in my pocket? Will you come
Yeah,
with me?
yeah. Except it's
I
6
mean,
foot.
he'll be there, but you know.
I'm pretty big in spirit.
She'll be handing out
What's your phone number? I'll text you.
Whisper.
You can type your phone
No,
number in.
what-
I'll text you though, instead of being in the pocket. We're running out of time. I think we got what, a couple
Don't tell
minutes.
anybody. Don't tell my husband. That's funny.
Oh, that's his number. You know what? I'm not as dumb as I look. She gave me her husband's number. This isn't right. You know what? Cut this part out of the show. No, I wish you best of luck
Thank
on the
you
show.
very much.
I know
Thank you.
you'll do well.
Thank you.
Here's what I'm nervous every time we're on the show.
I don't believe you.
Yeah, I am.
I don't.
I am nervous.
Show me.
But I just did. I just showed you. But I relax because I'm surrounded by good people.
People, right? Absolutely.
And plus, I'm not having a battle. I'm trying to help people.
Absolutely.
So when we promote people and bring out the good, there's no reason to
Can't
be
go wrong,
nervous for
right.
more than about 3 minutes. Okay? And we got about 2 minutes left. We're going to wrap up the show. You just stay with us.
Let me stay here.
You're not going to leave. You're wearing Steeler gear. I'm bleeding black and gold, so you look good there. Chip, what else you got going on? I know you wanted to go to maybe wrestling this weekend.
Yeah, I'm gonna try to make an attempt to get down to see Trapper Tom down at the in Lawrenceville and watch the KSWA's. What is it? Their first event of the year.
Yes.
We'd love to get down there and
Their
support
fan
you
fest.
folks. He's
Love
done
it.
such a great job in supporting us. I
Yeah.
think we ought to pay it back, pay it forward.
Well, thanks. Smoking Jim, what's going on?
I tried to make everybody some money. Florida State's already up 3-0. They'll cover the spread by the first quarter. It'd have been easy money for me, and it could have been easy money for everybody here.
I couldn't get a hold of my bookie. Smoking Jim Frazier didn't call it in for me. And I don't believe you should start betting if you don't. The best way to make money is don't bet. All right? Now, Happy New Year to everybody. We appreciate you watching our show. I'm going to try to make it out to Monroeville and God's country, and I'm going to also try to be able to get that start of the KSWA. 50 degrees, we can travel, Smoking Jim. We can see those crazies. Maybe even that mayor crazy will be out there. Who knows? But it's just great having everybody here. Thanks to our guests,
Thanks, Gabrielle, for being on the show. Trapper Tom, Mona V, Mario Tempest. For all the guests that are here, Felicia Ann, we didn't call you up. We usually ask you, but you had your back to us most of the show talking with all the fans there, so we didn't want to interrupt that conversation. But come out to Sip Sports Bar next week. We'll have a great show for you then. See us on Verizon 32 every Tuesday through Saturday night, 7 o'clock to 8 o'clock. And watch our live studio show every Tuesday, 7 to 8. We're in studio talking sports, no interviews, so it's all hardcore sports. Thanks again for Dave Cable, John the Tiger Kiger, Aaron Ward, another champion year. Devin Shea, his ego's too large, but he does well. And thanks to Chip Hayner, Smoking Jim Frazier. I'm Al Levine, the Talking Machine. See you next week.
Hey.